In this video, I'm going to take you through the photo library section in DxO PhotoLabs, in particular how I organize my photos, how I use the library section, some little tricks and tips that may be of interest to you. This was a subscriber request. Won't be a long video, won't be going into every little nitty-gritty section that's available here. This is more about how I use it, my workflow, and maybe it'll give you some ideas on how to use this as well, especially if you're coming from something like Lightroom. Can be a little bit different, just a bit of a different way of thinking. Anyway, I'm Murray Fox. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get on with the video. So we're actually going to start on the hard drive. One of the first things that you do when you come back from a photo shoot is you have to offload the files or the photos to your computer. Now in Lightroom, you have the import function and everything like that. It's different here. Here you just copy them to your hard drive. So you need to think ahead how you want to structure your folders. I have on my secondary hard drive on my computer a folder called photography, and under that I just date everything by year. My older years are all backed off external. So for example, I've got 2026 for the current year. In here I just have a separate folder for each one of my shoots. I'm not out there shooting every single day. If you were a much more frequent photographer, you might want to label it up a bit differently. It could be by subject, so whether it's portrait, landscape, storms, astro, whatever, then by date, then by customer. It could be, multiple different ways. It's up to you to think about a structure that works for you. I would call myself low volume, so I keep it pretty simple. Everything's just by year, and then in each year I just have a folder. I put the date, I put a location, and I put a description. So for example, this folder was back on the 7th of March. These are Australian dates, not US date. Out at Dalby, a couple of hours west of home, and it was storms. And if I go into there, I can see the photo. Now, these have been worked on in PhotoLab. So the difference with PhotoLab to Lightroom is there's no catalog file. Everything is kept in these card files, these DOP files next to your raw images or even modified TIFF photos. This is pretty cool. This means I can literally move these photos anywhere, and as long as these sidecar files go with them, the changes are always there. So I'm not worried about a catalog being corrupted. I'm not worried about a catalog becoming overflowing. This is purely wherever the photos go, wherever the sidecar files go, the data is there, which is really cool. So if I wanted to change my structure down the track, I can. I don't have to worry about catalog going out of whack. All right, let's get across into PhotoLab. This is the library section. If we look on the left here under folders, it's the same structure. This is literally my hard drive. Photography by the year. There's the Dolby Storm photos, and we can see here it's loaded up the images here. Now these are all, majority of these are edited. These are, for example, this is a raw file. One of the big changes that happened in the last version in PhotoLab's 8, and the main reason I went from 7 to 8 was they introduced stacking in the library. I love it, and I use this in the Lightroom all the time, and I use this when I used Lightroom, and I was hanging for PhotoLabs to get it, and now they've done it. You can see the number next to the photos here. If I click on that, it expands out. These are all the raw files that I have stacked underneath the finished photo, and if I just click the number again, it compresses it down. I love this because it just keeps everything looking neat and organized. It doesn't physically change anything on the hard drive. This is purely just the visual, how it looks in the photo library, and I love it. And how do you stack? Well, it's pretty simple. You click on one photo. That is the photo that's going to become the top of your stack. Hold the Control or Command key, click on the second or third or fourth image, right click on the first image again, go to stacking and go create stack. So now those two photos are stacked together. I can expand them and contract them, and there they are. And that's cool. I love that. If you want to remove the stack again, you can select both images, go to stacking, remove stack, and now they're unstacked. It's a really good way and a neat way of keeping things together. Now, one of the limitations, if there is a way around this, please tell me. I haven't come across it yet, but I haven't looked too hard for it either. I can't, for example, click on 2026 and load up all the images underneath, so it doesn't go into folders below the current folder. So there's a way around that, and I use a thing called project. So if you look down here on the left, there is a section section called projects. When I finish an image, if it's one that I think is a keeper, I will give it 5-star rating, as you can see here. Again, you can do that by just going control and then the number that you want to rate it. So control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I rate my photos. Once I have my 5-star photos, I want to keep a collection of those that I can just go to without having to troll through all the folders and everything like that. That's where these projects come into. So I've got a project down here I've called 5 stars. If I click into this, it will take a minute to load up. This is a little bit of a catalog file. So this is just referencing all of the 5-star photos I have dragged into this project. So as I create a photo here, I literally just click, drag it onto the 5-star project, let go, and it adds it to that project, which is really cool. So if I want to ever go through my finished photos, they're all here, and I can scroll through and get all my beautiful, it's fun. It's nice just to sit here and go through them and have a look at what I've captured recently and get some inspiration for my next shoot. So it's very cool. You can see I like color. I also have another project here for astro, because I do a lot of astro photography. Keep that separate as well. Again, you can have a catalog for absolutely everything. You can have a catalog for a portrait shoot. I call them catalogs, I should say projects. So you can have a project for anything. You can have a project, as I've got for my 5 stars for my astro. You can have a project per photo shoot just for the keepers. It's a really nice way of organizing things at the end. So beyond that, the main things I do in PhotoLibrary is just sorting and filtering. So you can see here, you've got the sorting section where you can sort by type, name, ISO, camera. If you've got a project, you're shooting multiple different cameras. Filtering, I can filter by 5 stars, for example. There's only one there. And if you click back on it again, it just turns that filter off. You can also reset it by selecting the first option. You can filter by colors. Sometimes I will color photos that I haven't posted on social media yet, for example. And I go, well, I need to post up another photo. I'll filter by color, find that photo or find a photo and post that up. Not a bad little way of using it. But from here, I mean, obviously, if you double click on a photo, you're then into customizing and editing using PhotoLabs. Not getting into that one today. I've done a lot of videos of me doing step-by-step editing with DxO. There'll be more of those coming very soon as well. This was more just a little how I use the library module. Very basic, very simple. It keeps everything really organized, very quick to find things, and I hope you got something out of this and of interest. And if you're interested in any of the DxO software, be it PhotoLabs 9 that we've used today or the new Nick Collection 9, please visit the DxO store, link in the description below, and use my discount code MurrayFox for 15% off any new licenses. Fantastic deal. Thanks again to DxO for being a great supporter. Please like, subscribe to my channel. I'll have more videos coming soon. It's been a little bit quiet the last month due to bad weather, but getting back into it now. Clear skies are starting to come. Got some exciting new things, especially with the nighttime photography happening. You'll have to stay tuned for those. So please, thank you again so much for watching, and why not click on another one of these videos here.